What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy C Boogie back with part 2 of Boogie After Mania. Afterthoughts. If you're new, welcome to the Live Mob Legion of Boogie. We are live every day on Kick and Twitch. Links are always down in the description below. Like and comment on all the videos. Sub to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. In June, we'll be posting, hopefully, a ton of clips from these last couple of years to start up the TikTok journey. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of TikTok, but we're going to have to do it. So, it's been a week officially since WrestleMania 40. Arguably the best WrestleMania, hands down, top to bottom. I can honestly and confidently say it really is up there. I finished watching on Peacock. I kind of took myself back for a different perspective, rather, on the PLE, and to kind of see if I missed something, if I'm doubling down on a match, its quality, if people are being too harsh. That's what I'm here to do. So that's what Afterthoughts is. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Starting off in night 1, Rhea versus Becky Lynch. Not gonna lie, I'm doubling down on what I said in the first video. Honestly, what a banger match to open the weekend. Becky was sick. Rhea ended up having a panic attack right before she got out there while being bruised up. I believe her wrist or her hand. She had been wearing a protective brace, so that was something to keep note of. That was nothing short of an amazing women's championship match to start the weekend 100%. I have nothing but good things to say. Everyone was really behind Rhea. There were a few boos for Becky, though. I will say that, which was very surprising. But that is okay. That is okay because I feel like they were kind of pushing the Rhea has to beat all 4 horsewomen. And honestly, they balled out. So honestly, I'm doubling down on what I said. Just an awesome match. After that was the tag team ladder match. I've seen that match this last week 3 or 4 times now in full. Just an absolute chaotic, fun match. I will agree with some people. I didn't realize how quick Grayson and Austin Theory won those tag titles for SmackDown. But it really left the door open for all the craziness to happen, all of the crazy spots. R-Truth was the MVP of that match. And everyone in that match just did absolutely amazing. A lot of chaos. It was chaotic. I feel like I'm going to say that a lot. But like I said, R-Truth was the MVP. An AA on top of a ladder, the hot tag, the pin, the 5-knuckle shuffle, Johnny's DDT, Pete and Tyler Bate jumping off the ladder outside the ring. Even Grayson Waller getting thrown through a ladder that was connected from the apron to the announce table right after he won the title. It was so chaotic. I'm doubling down and saying another amazing match. I don't think anyone should disagree there. And the fact that I was able to watch it over from that different perspective, doubling down there. After that, I believe it was the tag team match. Ray and Andrade, Santos and Dominic. And this match, I will say, was a lot better than people were somewhat giving credit. And again, that's from what I've read on social media. I actually thought that this was a pretty decent tag team match, especially for all those people who are looking into that lucha libre style of wrestling. I thought it was actually a pretty good match. And I'm pretty sure I said it was a good match before in part 1, but being able to see it again, I thought it was good. I know a lot of people weren't happy with the, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey appearance, but I thought it was good. I thought it was good. And honestly, I think a lot of people got to give this match a little more credit because it was actually a fun little match. We would have loved to have all members of Legado and LWO involved, which they kind of were. But it was a fun little match, and I honestly can't complain. Next up, I believe it was Jimmy versus Jay. And if I'm in the wrong order, guys, just please forgive me. I'm just gonna confirm here. Let me just see. I feel like I always get this wrong. I've seen this so many times where I just completely forget. I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy versus Jay. Let me tell you right now. Give me 1 second. Usually I would have this stuff ready, but it was Jimmy versus Jay. Okay. Just wanted to confirm. People are probably going to hate me for this. Jimmy and Jay was not as bad and as trash as people are giving it out to be. Yes, there was a segment where it was a super kick fest, super kick palooza. But this was a fun match, even without the stipulation. Was it a little quicker than people would have liked? I'll agree there. Did I enjoy it when I was there in person? Yes. Did I enjoy it while I was watching it? Yeah. Did I not like that people were really giving this match BS? Yes, it could have had a stipulation. I'm not disagreeing there. But this match was not as bad as people were giving it. The crowd was great. The yeet, no yeet within the crowd was absolutely awesome. It was a fun little brotherly match. And considering everything that's going on from, Raw to SmackDown this past week after post-Mania, I can see why they didn't add much of a stipulation, because there's more story to tell between these two. I don't think it was bad. And I think a lot of people are going to disagree. Of course, Mr. Dave Meltzer, he's going to disagree, giving, Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole a higher star rating. Like that's supposed to be of any sort of help. But Jimmy and Jay was not as bad as people are giving it out to be. I would advise people to really give this, cut this match some slack, because there have been worse matches. And the story that was being told within the match was justified. Jay was watching Jimmy extremely close, and he was in his face. He was ready to go immediately when that match started, because how many times did Jimmy screw him over? Jay was in there to kind of shut him up, because he was just always getting in his way. And yes, that little super kick palooza happened, but I actually enjoyed that match. So for all those people that are saying that this match was horrible, there have been worse matches. This match is not in the horrible section. I'm sorry. Was it in the okay good match? Was it like a fun good match? Yes. Was it like a great legendary match? I will agree that no, it was not. But it was a good match, and people are really, really stretching that one out, saying it was really bad. It wasn't really bad. Then it was the 6-woman tag, and I have to say here too, after watching it, it felt a lot quicker in person. But I have to agree, they showcased the women pretty decently. And I believe that this was also a fun little match. And there wasn't really much story. It was just Bianca trying to calm the storm of Damage Control and having that help of Naomi and Jade. And I know it was only like an 8-minute match, but I think each and every one of these women actually got to kind of showcase a little bit. And the crowd actually wasn't too bad during this match either, surprisingly enough. So I don't think it was I didn't realize how it felt quicker in person than it was watching it. It felt like it kind of ran somewhat smoothly. But honestly, it was again another solid, okay, good match. Really. Sammy versus Gunther, I'll double down and say it was an all-timer. It was a classic. Just a story that was being told. Gunther having that stretch of just completely obliterating Sami Zayn, and him getting that little second wind of like, I gotta get things rolling, and then getting up, hitting the haluva kick, hitting the brain buster, hitting the haluva kick again, hitting the other haluva kick, and pinning him 1, 2, 3. It was just a movie in itself. So there's not much that needs to be said there. And then the Roman Rock Seth Cody match was actually really good. I'm doubling down there too. The main event was actually really, again, another chaotic but fun match, and Rock did a lot more than a lot of people expected. Because being in great shape and being in wrestling shape are two different, shapes, and a lot of people were afraid of that. A lot of people made jokes about it. Like I said, I had made a joke about it, but at the end of the day, The Rock is The Rock. He'll find a way to make things work, and he was in that ring for a pretty decent amount. So I got to give credit to all these four guys because they turned this regular tag match into I want to say no DQ, because that's what it turned out to be. It turned out to be a no DQ match, and it was cool hearing The Rock say, if you counter, you're fired. Like, it was really cool to hear a lot of the banter back and forth in this match, in the Sammy Gunther match with Gunther and his wife. It was a lot of fun, honestly. Jimmy talking to his kids during the match, telling him to get off his phone. I had seen that today. That was pretty funny. The tag team ladder match, hearing DIY and Awesome Truth talk to each other. It was a lot of fun. But Rock really harnessed his final boss, and it was just a great fun way to end the night, and a great camera shot of Cody, the same way he was last year's WrestleMania, with Rock and Roman in the back holding their titles. The entrances were just awesome, by the way. The camera cut, everything about it. Sammy walking out from the back with that one continuous shot was pure cinema. Great entrance by Bianca, Jade, and Naomi. It kind of gave the tag teams, the 6 tag teams, the somewhat quicker entrances, but the gear by each of those teams was awesome. Overall, night 1 was great, and I have to say this before we go over to night 2. It wasn't as quiet as people are giving it. Night 1 was not as quiet. Was it cold? Yes, but the crowd was not quiet. Were they quiet at times? Yes, as every pay-per-view has, there are those times where the crowd's quiet. It was cold, all right? But it was not as quiet as everyone on social media keeps saying. It was loud there. It was loud when I watched it. And no, I didn't have my TV or my phone or my computer at 100 volume. It was loud. It was loud. Even with the yeet, no yeet, the tag team match at the end, the ladder match, even the Santos with the four-man tag, it was loud. So I don't want to hear nothing about, it wasn't loud, it was too quiet in Philly. It was loud. So I just want to make that known. All right, night 2, Seth versus Drew. Great match to start, leading into the cash-in. Great entrance by Seth and Drew, by the way. We would have loved Broken Dreams, but that's okay. But from bell to cash-in bell, cinema. It was cinema. It was cinema. They played into the Seth being kind of, limping into the match. They played into Drew being 100% for the match, but still focusing on Punk. Awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Loved the crowd. The crowd was behind Drew. The pop for Damian Priest was as loud as it was watching it in comparison to being there. So doubling down and saying that this match was really great, and the Damian Priest cash-in was just beautiful. Well done. After that, it was the street fight, which I did miss a part of it. I told you guys, seeing Theory and Waller in the suite literally right above me. There were parts that I missed. This match was a fun match. It was a good, fun match, honestly. It didn't necessarily It wasn't necessarily one of those gimmick matches that were really, 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 really bad, that there was no need for it. You know, the table breaking, watching it, it actually added to kind of how chaotic and car wreckful this match was, in a sense. The crowd reacted, obviously, which was awesome. But it was a fun, good match. And BFAB kicking Scarlett to oblivion had the crowd popping. Bringing Bubba Ray out, awesome. Snoop Dogg came to commentary. His commentary was absolutely amazing. And I forgot to say that for night one, the commentary was absolutely amazing. Hearing Michael Cole make the calls with Corey and Pat, I think that was just amazing. No short of that in night two, especially with Snoop Dogg for this ladder match, but not ladder match, the street fight. But yeah, it was fun. It was actually a fun, good match. After that, I believe it was AJ versus LA. A lot of people didn't like this match. I didn't necessarily have a problem with the match. I think it was another solid match. I thought it was another good match. And I don't know what people were expecting. Everyone was damn near behind LA Knight. AJ's theme, people are trying to warm up to. I don't have a problem with it, but it was a good match. It was. It honestly was a good match. And LA Knight got his WrestleMania moment in a sense. And like I said, considering what has happened post Mania, Raw, SmackDown, there's more of this to come. But watching it on, watching it from the outside looking into Lincoln Financial, it was a good match. So the hate needs to simmer down a little bit. After that was the triple threat, which was an actual extremely good match. Extremely good. The chemistry between these three guys, the Prime Baller entrance, the go-kart with KO and Randy, I Show Speed. Everything about this match was a lot of fun, a lot of false finishes, a lot of great kickouts, a lot of crazy finishers out of nowhere just for Logan to come and sneak in a pin. I thought that, like I said, my expectations were low on this match only because I didn't know how much time they were going to be given to kind of cook. But they were given time and they cooked. Someone doubled down here. I believe in the first part I did say I really did enjoy this match. I'm going to double down and say this match was really, 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 really fun. It really, really was fun. They got This Is Awesome chance for the main event of night one. And I believe part of this match, there were a couple of This Is Awesomes too. So that's just me. After that was Bayley and Io. I said it today randomly while I was talking to Brother Lad. It was a technical wrestling classic for a women's championship match. It feels like both Becky and Rhea were in this kind of category of technical wrestling that was separate from Io and Bayley. And I can't find the in-between, but it felt like they were both so good in their own right. Where if you put them side by side, I feel like a lot of people would agree they were on the same wavelength. I thought it was a classic too, and a lot of people said that this match was awesome. That reversal rose plant from Io, that was crazy. That in itself was crazy. But they were just hard hitting. And there wasn't, you can kind of tell there was a little bit of story of Bayley like knowing that this was once her friend, the one that she brought in to the main stage of WWE, and having to kind of rip it all away because she thought it was Bayley's first rodeo. And for Bayley to get her shot at winning a title at Mania after these few years of her injuries and everything in between, it was definitely a well-deserved moment. So she's the new women's champ. But I'm doubling down and saying this match was a lot of fun. Really, really, really good. Honestly, the two championship matches for women's wrestling, I think a lot of people will keep an eye on it. A lot of people will probably watch back and say, yeah, this was good. And the crowd crowd was great, honestly. And I know people were probably like, oh, I'm so glad Philly was louder night 2. They were a little louder, but we're making it sound like night 1 they were quiet. They weren't quiet. They weren't quiet. I just hated that part. And hearing it, I'm just like, what are they hearing? Like I must be losing my mind. But Io and Bailey deserve their flowers just as much as Rhea and Becky does, for sure. And then the main event of Cody versus Roman 2. I'm just gonna say this: Roman and Cody, outside of the Jimmy, Jay, Solo, Cena, Rock, Shield, Seth, Undertaker, outside of that last 5, 6, 7 minute segment, Roman and Cody put on a banger. So I hate that I'm seeing a lot of things on social media like, oh, Cody and Roman, that was a boring match until everybody came out. That's false. It's crazy to even say out loud. Like, unless I'm looking at the wrong thing. I would argue that Roman put up a very, very great showing, considering everyone says that Roman isn't the greatest in the ring. I thought him and Cody's chemistry and everything that he played into was awesome. Plus, it was Bloodline rules, so there was kendo sticks. They were, going out to the crowd. I'm sorry. I have to defend Cody and Roman here. Like, this match was awesome, even without the chaotic end of the match. You put the chaotic end to the match, plus what they did in that large segment, and that was a perfect way to end WrestleMania 40. It really was. Y'all can argue with me. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm crazy, but the same people that are saying that I'm crazy are the same people that are probably saying that this was an all-time classic Mania, top to bottom, which is exactly what I'm saying. So with that being said, man, commentary for the whole weekend was outstanding. To hear it, it seemed like the three, Corey, Michael, and Pat, had a lot of fun. And to hear Michael Cole say, finish the story at the end, chills. When Cena came out, oh yeah, awesome. Choke slam, awesome. The Shield, oh my god, what's happening? Everything, the expressive nature, Samantha Irving, for the love of all things, I'm protecting her too. Absolutely outstanding job. I don't care what anybody says. She deserves her flowers. The emotion that she put in, she was announcing and directing beginning matches, end of matches, as if she was a fan in the crowd. It was as if someone said, I need you to announce the winner of this match without knowing who wins. And that's exactly what she does on a day-to-day basis. She puts her absolute heart and soul into every call. Absolutely amazing job by all the whole announcing, commentating, ring announcing team as a group, as a collective. They really made each match feel special with what story has been told for each match, especially, Michael instigating during the 4-man tag on night 1, which was a lot of fun. And feeding into, stop the match with Sammy and Gunther. It was just, they did a great job, even when Damian Priest cashed in. When Drew hit the Claymore to start the match in night 2, they were going crazy. When IShowSpeed was revealed, that was a funny segment in itself. Dropped a couple of F-bombs there too, Speed. I didn't know you were like that. But it basically just reassured, watching it over, it reassured that this was an all-time classic Mania. This Mania will go down as one of the better ones, if not the best one. And I want people to understand that. And you can't say it's an all-time classic and say that a few of these matches were shit. Honestly, it's kind of contradictory to making the point of, oh, this was an all-time Mania. So With that being said, man, that is the end of Boogie After Mania Part 2. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. It's still a dream come true. Still in disbelief that I was able to sit in the crowd of Philadelphia, of Lincoln Financial, and get to really watch one of, if not the best WrestleMania in the 40 years of WrestleMania. So I'm still partially in Philadelphia. Like I said, my soul and mind is probably still working its way slowly. But I had to make this video. I had to let y'all know what was up. So with that being said, man, I must bid y'all adieu. Goodbye, good night, good morning, good afternoon, depending on when you're watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please drop some comments and let me know what you think. And to this new era of wrestling, pro wrestling, the WWE, what an amazing show. What an amazing transition into this new era. See y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Yeah. Yay.